So today is October 9th, and I was just going to post a quick blog about all the things that are going on that I live with on a day-to-day basis. I have an exam coming up Friday. This channel is to document the abuse, the stalking, the gaslighting, the occupational conspiracy, and I would just say that this is a documentation of oppression and the lack of liberties and privileges that I should be granted like other citizens of the United States. So today's video, as the title shows, is me going back to my house around my neighborhood. And this is the same day, which is October 6th. So I have a video showing you me going into town and what was going on. And then here's a video of me just coming home. And I have to be inundated with road rage and stalking by these strangers who I don't know, but they're all loosely affiliated and are using some technology. It's technology because it's timing and accuracy. Without timing and accuracy always revolving around your social space or visual space, you obviously have technology for that to happen. So there's a bunch of stuff online right now regarding gang stalking, and they like to go down the rabbit hole of, it's microwaves, it's radar, it's chips in your body, it's UFOs. And honestly, I don't care about that. It's just the fact that it has timing, right? It has precision and accuracy. And so precision and accuracy together, you can't have that without technology. So enough of that. I'm going to do a screen share and show how I'm being tracked, physically tracked and stalked by essentially it's society. So I'm going to pull up a project. We're going to take a look at it. Okay. So we're screen sharing now, and this is me coming home, and I dated this girl back in 2014, 2013, right? And these girls that I'll date, they'll drive vehicles, right? And you'll notice a common denominator in all of my vehicular stalking videos. All of the colors of the vehicles and all of the vehicles in general are all vehicles of my past connections with relationships. So in this case, you'll see in my videos, a lot of them are going to be red trucks, or it's going to be something of value, something that I value or something that I want. And the program works in this fashion is that they investigate and take the things that you value and the things that you don't like, or things that have abused you, things that are stimuli for abuse, anger, and triggering. And then what they do is they stalk you with it. Okay. In this inhumane program, unconstitutional program, to have you stalked with the objects that has caused you trauma in your past, has been distasteful, has caused financial or educational sabotage of your past, or even your sexual health or emotional health, financial health, anything they can find basically that has caused you any stress or significant cognitive dissonance, anything like that. This is one of those deals where cognitive dissonance comes into play, and they love to characterize you as someone who you're not and slander you. And so you can chew and fester on the cognitive dissonance, right? And it just causes disruption, which is part of the COINTELPRO, part of that subversive technique to perpetually disrupt, discredit. Okay. And so I'm coming home here, and behind me, I just happened to look up very briefly. I just happened to look up here in my rearview mirror, and behind me is this white car. And again, I was dating this girl in this white car, not this particular car, but She drove this little white car, and I just noticed in the past like 4 or 5 days, these started to pop up. So they'll bring these patterns in just out of nowhere. And sometimes it'll follow your train of thought. Like if you're in deep thought about something and it's your own thoughts, all of a sudden these people will appear the next day. Okay. Or if you're walking around, all of a sudden your thoughts are projected back to you, either in the store and they love to do it in the grocery store. If you're thinking about purchasing something, or you're thinking about, just like a primary example is when I was going to look at monster truck tickets. I have a video of that showing you that at the time I was going to purchase a monster truck tickets to see if someone else wanted to go with me. And this was back, I think, around December of 2023. And I was doing browsing on my laptop, and I was also simultaneously getting ready to buy a new pet. And I decided that I was going to go into one of, I think, Walmart, I believe, and go and get a gander at some of the pet foods and see kind of what the pricing and stuff was like, because I was really, really contemplating going and adopting. Well, within 48, 72 hours of me looking at monster truck tickets, literally like within 24 hours, I believe it was. I can go back and look at my evidence, but it's very common for them to, within 24 or 48 hours, they will, based off of what you're thinking or what you're doing in your private quarters, they will reflect it back to you. So when I was shooting video in that Walmart, I showed you that there was a monster truck sitting in the pet food, right? And we weren't near any toy section. We weren't near that particular Walmart. Their animal feed is not near a toy section. But there is this, sure enough, there was a monster truck sitting on the shelf in the middle of the dog food, cat food section at mid-level tier. So at the second shelf, literally at waist to chest high. So you would see it. It wasn't low, it wasn't high. It was right there in the middle, and someone had placed it there. And this is the type of thing that they use to predate on you. They know where you're going ahead of time. So if you're at work, or if you're at school, or if you're going to get groceries, they will make sure to plant things ahead of you. So if you go to grab something, maybe at work, maybe you go to grab something off of a shelf, they've already planted it and they know that you're going to grab it. Okay. And the thing about the program is that the program is so sophisticated that the more professional you are, the more disciplined you are, and the more scheduled and routine you are, the easier it is for them to destroy your mental state and start implementing these fabricated scenarios of humility, right? Because something falls, you grab something, you feel like it broke, but it was placed there. And all of a sudden you find yourself grabbing merchandise that's either torn, it's either broken, it's either ripped, it's got a hole in it. You grab something like a fishing lure, and the barbs on it will be dull, or the hook point will be dull, right? And it goes way deeper than that. They know that let me get off of this real quick. Let me go back and so you can see me. Stop screen share. I'm going to get off of this really quick and come back to you. But they know what you're going to grab in the stores ahead of time. And so this is how they can start toggling things and start moving things around. And when I say it goes way deeper than that, they will send you things such as fortune cookies, and you feel like the fortune cookie is like talking to you, right? You feel like because the fortune cookie says that you're in healthcare, that you should stay in healthcare, right? And they start using these, this environmental, this ambient attack through your mail, through anything that you touch, anybody you talk to. They send you on calls that kind of promote and kind of push you, if you will, or influence is the best way to put it. But they start sending you these messages either through the propaganda on your social media, right? So all the little Instagram and Facebook feeds, once you open that up, those feeds are always has something to do with talking about, your life or your perspective. And the thing with social media now is if you allow it, when you like something, that's documented and recorded, right? And so when you open your social media, it'll stay on that particular genre of things that you like, right? And this is how they can begin to send propaganda to you, okay? And they can inundate you with a lot of things that kind of influence your mind or influence your perspective, right? So that's not really that's one way they target you, but the biggest way, to go back to more of the spookiest, I would say, or the most convoluted, the most demented tactics, right? The most unconstitutional tactics, the most unjust and unethical and unmoral tactics, beyond just the regular tactic of documenting your social media, is, again, keeping tabs on the things that you purchase, keeping tabs on your mental state, and then what you're thinking and what you're doing internally. Somehow they're able to, with accuracy and with precision, okay, anticipate and work off of those thoughts. Again, you can check out the monster truck video this past December or January, I think I posted it, where again, I explained that whole scenario. And then the grocery thing is a really big deal. The other thing that they'll do whenever you're at work, whenever you're at the grocery store, if you are going to purchase something, right? Because there's people in the store literally tracking your physical being, okay? Literally like tracking you physically. What they will do is they know the things that you're going to purchase, right? So if there's something there that is limited, or there is something there that you really need, they're always worrying about disrupting your train of thought, okay? So if they're not working on your mind with frequency and timing, they're gonna, and the color coordination, like you're gonna see in this video, then what they're gonna do is they're gonna use proxemics. Proxemics is when someone comes into your intimate space, your personal space, your conversational space, and then your social space, right? And so proxemics is a real philosophy. It's a real principle. And so to get disruption, and this is a principle that you can appreciate in employment, leadership, and employment overall management, employment dynamics, and workforce and workplace dynamics. This is an actual principle you can appreciate in those books. You can look at proxemics with investigators, because they love to do that. This is why the investigator is going to lean forward. This is why the investigator is going to get in your personal space and try to make you sweat. This is why people get close to you, when they will try to influence you and persuade you, okay? If you're in a social space in the hospital, they may do the same tactic in order to facilitate medical error or intimidation, and it's a form of harassment. Now, going back to the grocery store, if you're in a grocery store and you're trying to grab something, what they like to do is they'll take the physical space that is around you, and they'll inundate you with a bunch of people, and they'll start walking, right? So if you have to, they'll walk on your accord. They already know what you're going to get ahead of time. So what they'll do is, if you have a lot going on and you didn't write it down, they'll walk on your accord, and they'll use something that's stigmatizing or triggering to cause you to deviate off path. Example of this is, I'm looking at the shrimp yesterday, and I'm trying to decide which shrimp I want. They already know that I like shrimp with no tail, and I like it deveined. So I'm looking around at the bags, and the bags are purposefully in disorder and entropy, okay? And so what the lady will do, she'll come up, a complete stranger, it could be young, middle, or old, varying races. They'll come up to you, and you're trying to sift through all the chaos of the text on these bags. She knows what you're looking for is over here, and she'll come and she'll block that. She'll come either block your visual field, or she'll walk around and weigh on your intimate space so that you feel uneasy, like you're using etiquette. It works off of that as well. It makes you feel like you have to start implementing etiquette, right? Because she's entering your personal space and intimate space, which is within a foot or less. Okay. So even if you're just using your etiquette, she's still manipulating you based off of her proximity to you and her orientation to the product or the item or whatever it is you're trying to, in this case, accomplish, which is making a purchase based off of having the need to read detail and sift through entropy. Okay. And part of that is her additional entropy of her entering your proximal space. All of this sounds complicated, but it happens within literally 2 or 3 seconds. You don't realize it's happening, but it is. You would think that, oh, well, this is a scenario where the lady is just walking by. There's no big deal. She's just busy here, this, that, and the other thing. But what happens is this will happen on a regular basis, right? A regular basis. And they love to take things that are discounted. They love to take things that are on sale. And what they'll do is they'll manipulate the things around so that it's not correctly placed. Now you might think, oh, well, this is just somebody not doing things right at the store, right? This might be an employee that just got a little stressed out, maybe just forgot to put things in the right place, or maybe it was someone else in the store that was just moving things around looking for something. They misplaced it. But what you'll find is it's a perpetual problem, no matter what store you go to. Okay, so look out for that as well. Okay, where they like to say that things are on sale, and it's always things that you're buying, and they already know that you're going in, and they've already understood and have you triangulated and put into this technology, okay, that is specific to you. Okay, so when you drive to that grocery store and when you drive back to that grocery store, there is somebody, multiple people already staging things before you leave, okay, because they're anticipating. So they'll park their vehicles so that they can abuse you in the parking lot, have you parked somewhere purposefully, okay, and when you get inside there, they'll have things shuffled around, and they'll have people there to cause you to deviate in your purchases, okay. If you're thinking of something or you're forgetting something, it's always something either laying right here at chest level. It's always something at chest level that you can see. Okay. If they really want to abuse you and you get tired of that, they'll start laying things on the ground that weigh on your mind. Okay. For example, I think on the same day I was grocery shopping and I needed to get done really fast. Right. I remember thinking to myself, like, man, I feel like I've got some energy. I got some pep in my step today, is what I was thinking. And lo and behold, they would have a spare battery, just a single battery or whatever, minutes later, just hanging around on a shelf by itself, And I'm thinking minutes prior, man, I feel like I've got all this energy. I've been doing some weightlifting, a little bit extra stuff, whatnot. Been kind of looking at different supplements and whatnot. And so I'm in the frame of mind. And I remember thinking to myself as I was navigating the store, I just feel like the exercise I've been doing is giving me more pep in my step. And so they start playing around with your mentation and anticipating your thoughts. Okay. Again, you can't do that without technology. You can't have accuracy and precision without technology. If you don't believe me, there's a video posted on the whole monster truck thing. I have bunches of examples. In the fishing sections, they're always laying things out that when you grab it, because they know you like specific things, so you grab it, and if you on closer inspection, you'll see that they have dull hooks, or there's something wrong, with maybe the bill or something, right? I can give you more specific examples objectively. I mean, you don't have to listen to me subjectively, but we'll go through this video. So let's get back to the video. If you don't understand what I'm saying, then you can go to, which really I don't care, but I really don't care, if you understand. I guess it's just me to, I'm trying to vent a little bit, but objectively, I'm just learning that whole piece. That there's more to all of these videos than meets the eye. Again, I just don't have the time to do all of this, but it's good to put it and document it out there. So I'm returning home in this case, and we're screen sharing here. Was dating a girl with at the time drives a white car. At this point in time, there's this white car following me, and these white cars just so happen to inundate my visual space within the last week. These weren't ever here like this. Now all of a sudden, within this recent week, have these white cars pop up, and they start using this white car deal to anchor your mind. So around your subdivision, around the place where you reside, they're going to start planting these vehicles perpetually and frequenting your visual field around your neighborhood. So at the time, I'm coming home and I've got a white car behind me, and now all of a sudden I have a white car coming in front of me. Both of these are small white cars. Both of these are stimuli for a previous relationship. Okay. Now, I got tired of it because I noticed these white cars were popping up. Before I even showed you this video, there was other white cars. So I said I had enough of it. So I pulled over to the left and let the white car behind me pass, as you see. And so all of a sudden I continue to drive, and you can see this white car is going to go down a do not enter. Okay. Always something weird going on, right? Always something bizarre. Okay. Less than a second later, we have black vehicle and then black vehicle. Okay. And sure enough, come around the corner, and what do we have? White vehicle. Now, this is what I'm talking about with the stimuli, right? I just had to go through a bizarre event. I'm going to go back. I had to go through a bizarre event, a white car. I pulled over and was suspicious because before this, I had white cars all around. Now I have one following me, okay? And I say, this is awfully strange. So I continue, and sure enough and behold, here comes the white car. Now, what's interesting about this is that they love to use the corners. This whole vehicular thing has been going on for a decade now. And they love to use turns. And it starts anchoring in your mind that they're around every corner, like that phrase, right? We're around every corner. Like you can't escape us, right? We're around every corner. Is almost kind of what you get, is the impression that you get from this. And it's always like this. Always, always, always. When they want to abuse you, it's always around a turn. Gosh, it's always around a turn. You'll notice, matter of fact. So not only is this white car following me, but you'll see it's around a turn, right? And then I have to pull over. So that's an event, right? That's a stressful event that I have to endure. And then it's bizarre that someone would turn like this. And then, of course, what's waiting around the corner? The white car. As I mentioned. And what is the black vehicle doing? Watch the black vehicle. He's coming around the corner. Now you would say, well, this is not a straight road. So of course they're going to be coming around the corner. But the thing about this is that in this particular instance, if we were to go all the way back, right? We go all the way back to here. Okay. You don't see any cars coming, right? You don't see any cars coming. No cars coming. It's a straight line here. Straight line. No black or white vehicles. I mean, they have opportunity to come anywhere they want. Anywhere they want. They have the opportunity to come through. But they want to use, for some reason, this is, again, one of the tactics that I've noticed is that they want to use the corners. They love to use the turns. Very, very common. And because this is in my neighborhood, this area right here is where a lot of the anchoring and the briding occurs. When I leave home and when I come home, they love these turns. Okay. I have to stop. And then you see white car turns, and guess what's coming around this corner? The black vehicle. And again, guess what's happening right here? as I turn. This guy's turning around the corner. See, I turn the corner and guess what's there? The white vehicle. And this is so close to my house that every time I drive, that's how they begin the harassment. You leave the house and they have the vehicle parked there, and that's the inception of the transit harassment. Is what they want you to see and focus on is the vehicle that's near your first line of sight. Okay, and then that is what they use to abuse you. Okay. Now, why is there back-to-back 3 white cars? You know, so, and again, you have this car driving in a do not enter. Additionally, if you look at all my videos, you're going to see that when I'm on the interstate, that interstate is a max speed of 60 miles an hour. I'm going to say that again. That interstate that I'm on most of my videos, you'll see that I'm doing about 62. And in some areas, it's 50. And very important for you to understand this. Very important. Especially anyone that's young and watching this. Why is that important? Because what happens is they will drive as a group, okay? And they will start going 70 and a 60, right? And then as a young man, right, you're going to want to drive fast too. And this is them influencing you to drive fast. And it just gives authority, the law, the whole entrapment piece. And it's the whole influence piece by the group and the crowd itself. So they'll have all the vehicles driving fast, like it's no big deal, right? And then you get pulled over and your excuse is, oh, well, I was just going with the flow of traffic. Well, I was just driving with everybody else. And the whole time it's the group dynamic and the group influence, okay, getting you amped up, ramped up, right? And all it takes is for them to bump into you in the store, which they've done many times, and I've called police many times, to aggravate you. And then you speed home. Well, while you're trying to speed home, you're more apt to speed home whenever you have the group influence and the group dynamic driving fast around you, right? And so you'll see in the videos, this is how they entrap you. And they're using the technology by the intelligence communities, okay, that's been gifted to them. And so they're functioning to entrap you, okay, in the speeding ticket. And they're functioning to entrap you in many other aspects of your life, and you don't realize it, okay? This is how the whole the intelligence community, crowd control, and crowd influence tactics work. It's no different than when the CIA had funded $5 million to basically fabricate and conjure Ukrainian Russian protests and rallies. There's evidence of that, okay? So they fabricate riots and they fabricate crowds, okay? So look out for that. You'll see in my past videos that people are doing an extra 10 miles an hour. And all it takes is for somebody at the gym, somebody at the store, somebody at the gas station, somebody wherever you are to instigate and antagonize you and get you mad. All it could take is someone tampering with your phone while you're looking at it, and you get pissed off and you try to drive home real fast. All of a sudden you see people driving past you even faster. You just say, screw it, I'm going to drive fast too. And pretty soon you're the one getting pulled over. And they love to take the muscle car. They love to take the other motorcycle. They love to take the sports car, okay? And they love to go and they'll put their thumbs up, right, when you're driving your motorcycle. Oh, they'll stop when you're at the light and say, hey, man, that's an awesome motorcycle. Man, that's nice. And the other thing that they love to do is when you're at the light, they love to see you accelerate on the motorcycle. And they'll stop behind. A girl will come and give you a compliment so that you ramp it up fast and get caught by the police. I've got so many tactics that they've used on me. More on another day. But you could see there the white vehicle harassment. Okay. I hope you could appreciate that. I've got more to document. But I know I'm not the only one. There's got to be at least one person out there somewhere that is enduring this type of abuse and enduring this type of social crowd influence. Okay. And it's entrapment, and they're able to use people around you in your social space, including your own family, okay, to entrap you into legal problems. Okay. And you think that you trust everybody around you. And this is the most demented thing. Look back on what the FBI has done to people of our past and all of the programs that were developed in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. That was 80, 70 years ago. I'll tell you right now, things are far more sophisticated. Far more sophisticated.